Shalom, welcome back for another week. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be discussing something that seems a little controversial, but I'm trying to suggest a reason why it's not. We're going to be discussing the concept of the chosen nation, a chosen people, which makes it seem like we're better than everyone else and we're chosen and you weren't. But really, when we say chosen, let's swap it out with we're here to serve. We were chosen to serve humanity. We were chosen to give. The Torah is here to teach us how to serve. So the purpose of creation is to serve. If anyone asks me why God created the world, we really only have one answer, is that God is all good and the nature of goodness is to give of itself. So God created a scenario where he can give of himself to this world. So by us replicating God and we also give, we are being like God and part of the purpose of creation and what we were chosen for. Now, we're not better than anyone else. We're just serving everyone else. We're all equal. We all have the same brains and body and everything. We're just here to serve. Not everyone has to serve. It's not on everyone, but it's on us. So that's our role, and that's what we were chosen for. If someone's a doctor and helps other people in a third world country, to give free clinics, he's not better than everyone. He's serving everyone. They're all equal humans. That's really the idea over here, and let's jump right in and see what's going on. Parshat Tazria, in memory of my father, Shimshon ben Shalom. Let's go. Leviticus 12:2. Speak to the Israelite people thus: when a woman at childbirth bears a male, she shall be impure 7 days. She shall be impure as at the time her condition of menstrual separation. Regarding this verse, it is written in the Medrash, a woman who conceives. And the Medrash writes, it brings in Psalms, you have created me behind and before. So Rabbi Yochanan said, if man merits, he inherits two worlds, this one and the coming one. Rish Lakish said, behind, that's the last day, and before, that's the first day. Meaning, if man merits, we say to him, you were created before all of creation. If not, we say to him, the mosquito preceded you. Very harsh. From this we can infer, if humans were created last, after everything was already in creation, then how could we tell him that you are worthy, you have preceded all of creation? Does that make sense? So, if I was created last, how could I ever find myself in a situation where I was created prior to creation? And we will answer with the help of heaven to preface what I saw in the explaining of the following verse, in Genesis 27:35. But he answered, your brother came with guile and took away your blessing. Regarding this verse of Jacob stealing Esau's blessing, the Medrash comments and says, your brother came with guile. Rabbi Yochanan says that means he came with wisdom of the Torah. And here we need to clarify, as Esau is coming to complain that Jacob stole his birthright, so what type of answer did the Medrash give here when it comments that Jacob came with the wisdom of the Torah? It's like, bro, you just stole something, what wisdom of the Torah? Which was specifically because of this, he was permitted to take the blessing in an unjust manner. However, it is understood that the sages here are asking, how is it possible that Jacob was able to take the blessing of this world? Because didn't we learn the below where it's not even the issue that he took something, it's that he took something from this world. Don't mind the plane over my head. There's some birthday sign flying over us, around us. Genesis 25:22. But the children struggled in her womb, and she said, if so, why do I exist? She went to inquire of Hashem. Rashi says over there, they struggled with one another and quarreled as how they should divide the two worlds as their inheritance. So they made a split amongst themselves. Esau would take this world, and Jacob would take the world to come. If the above is true, how was Jacob allowed to take the blessings of this world when it was already agreed to belong to Esau? However, it is understood that anything a human does is in order to achieve a certain purpose, and the main intention in his or her brain while pursuing that goal should be the outcome and the result of this pursuit. And behold, regarding the following verse in Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. On this the sages teach. In the beginning God created, he created the world for the sake of the Torah. And there's a verse over here to prove it from Proverbs 8:22, and also for the sake of Israel, and another verse to prove it. So when it says he created, we're learning he created for the purpose of Israel and for the purpose of the Torah, which we already learned is for the purpose of service, to serve. As we see here that at the inception of creation, the intentions from the blessed Hashem was Israel and the Torah, which didn't even come until the end of the creation, in which case Esau doesn't have a right to complain about what Jacob took, as this world was created for Israel who delves in the Torah. And since Jacob, our forefather, was a simple man who sat in peace in his tent studying Torah, then certainly only to him would it be fitting all the goodness of this world. And with this we can understand what Isaac, our forefather, meant when he said to Esau, your brother came in guile, with wisdom of the Torah. that since the wisdom of the Torah was with Jacob, then certainly all reality is with him, and there really is no claim against him for taking the blessings. And on this path we can explain the above medrash. A woman who conceives, and then we commented, we said that means you have created me behind and before. What does that mean? The intention here is even though man was created last, nonetheless, since the total intention of the creation was simply for humanity, it was as if humans were created first. And this is why it's written, you have created me behind and before, that even though humans were created last, nonetheless, it is as if we were fashioned from old, as if we were created before everything, even though we came in last. Therefore, if one is worthy to be toiling in Torah and keeping her commandments, that person is by default fulfilling his or her purpose, and through this arrives at the purpose of the entire creation, which was simply designed for him, her, and then we say on that person that they were created before the act of creation itself, as all of the creation was created just for him or her, and we know that everything ends in action, but is founded in thought. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. And if someone doesn't act in the ways of the Torah, then it would be impossible for him or her to say that the entire world was created for them. And regarding that person, we say that the mosquito preceded him or her, which is the truth, since humans came on the order of creation after the mosquito. And with this we can understand the continuation of the Medrash. Rabbi Yochanan says, if a person is worthy, she inherits two worlds, this and the next. A person being worthy is one who toils in Torah and commandments, which was the purpose of the creation. And then we inherit the two worlds, including this world, since all of this world was only created for humans that dwell in Torah. And this can explain what is taught in the writings of the sages, that all of creation is included in the following categories: earth, the mundane, herbs, animals, and then humans. And the matter of the earth was made for the grass to grow in it, and the grass for the animals, and the animals for humanity. As we can see that all of these were created for mankind, which is the choice existence of them all. Therefore, he or she is considered last, that all actions and processes are for the purpose at the end after all things transpired. However, it is still considered last, and nonetheless at the same time we see it was there from the start in intention and purpose, and this should be understood. And embedded in this is a very deep Kabbalistic principle of first set your intention of what you want to have happen. This is the law of manifestation, and then you'll see it unfold. If anyone tries to convince you you're crazy for trying to think big or dream big or talk big, ignore them, because you got to believe it before it happens. You got to have it in your mind. On that note, stay strong. Shabbat Shalom. Over now.